Hello everyone, my name is Ayush Pratap Yadav. I am here to tell a summary of a chapter named In the Kingdom of Fools. In this chapter, there were a king and a minister. They were so idiots, so they don't want to run things like other kings. They decided to change day into night and night into day, and whoever disobeyed will be punished at death. And everyone did this as fear of death. So they will awake at night and run their businesses, and when the sun came up they will sleep. And the king and the minister were getting success at their project. One day a guru and his disciple arrived in a city. It was a broad day, but not even a mouse stirring there. So the two men were amazed by seeing that, and they wandered here and there till evening. And when suddenly whole town wake up for their nightly businesses, they went to buy some groceries at grocery shop. And what they saw that everything cost him a single dudu. Even they buy a bunch of bananas or a grain of rice, it costs him a single dudu, which is equal to 1 rupee. When they both cooked and eaten up, the guru realized that this is no place for us. Let's go. This is a kingdom of fools, which is not correct place for us. But the disciple didn't want to leave the city. All he wanted is good and cheap food that he was getting there. But the guru said to him that this is a place of fools. You don't know what they'll do you to next. And guru tries to convince the disciple, but the disciple didn't get convinced. So finally guru gave up and said, do whatever you want, I am going. And he left from there. And the disciple fattened him on a wheat, ghee and bananas, just like a street side sacred bull. One bright day, a thief broke into a rich merchant house, and he had made a hole in the wall. And as the wall was weak, it collapsed on his head and killed him on spot. So his brother went to the king and complained, Your Highness, when my brother was pursuing his ancient trade, the wall fell on him and killed him on spot. This merchant to be blamed because he had made a weak wall, which was not correct. The king said, Justice will be done, don't worry, and at once summoned the owner of the house. And when the merchant arrived, the king questioned him, What's your name? The merchant answered, Such and such, your highness. The king again asked him, Were you at home when the wall collapsed on this man? The merchant answered, Yes, my lord, I was at home. When this man broke into my house, the wall fell on him and killed him. So the king said that you had to be punished because you had killed an innocent man. So the helpless merchant said, Lord, I didn't put up the wall. It's actually fault of that bricklayer who had built a weak wall which fell on him and killed him. The king asked to the merchant, Who is that bricklayer? So the merchant answered, I know him. He is an old man now. He lives nearby. So king sent out in messengers to bring him. And messengers bring him by tying hand and foot. The king questioned him, Did you put up this wall? The bricklayer answered, Yes, my lord. So the king said, Which kind of wall did you build up? This wall was so weak that it has fallen on a poor man and killed him. So you have to be punished because you have murdered a man. You have to be punished by death. Before the king could order his execution, the poor bricklayer pleaded, Please listen to me before you order your execution. I know I didn't build the wall correct because my mind was not on it. I remember very well a dancing girl with her anklet jingling goes up and down that street all the day, which distracted me, so I didn't put up a good wall. You must get that dancing girl. I know where she lives. She lives nearby. The king said, You are right. It's not the case depends. It's not easy to judge such a complicated case. Now the dancing girl came to the court. She is an old woman now. She came trembling to the court. The king asked to dancing girl that did you go up and down that street long ago? Dancing girl answered, Yes, my lord. The king said, You go up and down with your anklets jingling, so you distracted this bricklayer. He didn't make a good wall, which fallen on an innocent man and killed him. You have murdered an innocent man. You must be punished by death. So the dancing girl said, wait, my lord. I remember very well why I goes up and down that street. I had gave some gold to make an ornament to the goldsmith. The goldsmith was so lazy. He gave me so many excuses that I will give it to you now and then. He made so many excuses. He made me walk up and down to his house a dozen of times, due to which I distracted this bricklayer and he didn't put up a good wall. You must get that goldsmith. He was hiding in a corner of his house. So the king sent out his messengers to brought the goldsmith. They brought to him to the court. He had his own story to tell to the king. He said, "It's true. I made many excuses to the dancing girl because I could not finish his work because I had to first finish the work of the rich man. They had wedding coming, and you know how impatient rich men are." So the king asked him, "Who are the rich men who kept you away from finishing this dancing girl's work, which distracted this bricklayer who didn't put up a good wall, which fallen on a man and killed him?" So the goldsmith answered that he was none other than the actual owner of the house. Now the justice came. After the full circle of blaming, the merchant was accused for this murder. So he was rudely summoned back to the court. As he came crying that, "My lord, it wasn't me. It was my father who gave the jewelry to be made." But the king said that you have to be punished. So the merchant said, "I am innocent. Please forgive me. My father is dead." But the king said, "Someone has to be punished for this murder, so you have to be punished." The king ordered a new stake to be made for this punishment. And after the stake was made, the merchant was taking for the punishment. But what everyone saw that he was too thin to fit the stake. So he escaped the punishment. The king was too worried that what should we do now? So a suddenly idea struck into the king's mind that we only need a man fat enough to fit the stake. So the servant was sent all over the city that find a man fat enough to fit the stake. Suddenly servant's eyes fell on the disciple who had fattened him on daily eating ghees, bananas, rice, etc. So the disciple was rudely summoned to the court. He cried, said, "I didn't did anything." So the king said, "It's true, you haven't done anything, but you are fat enough to fit the stake. So you have to be punished." The disciple was taken to the place of execution. So he remembered about his guru's words of wisdom in his mind that this is a city of fools. You don't know what they'll do you next. So he cried in his mind and thought about his gurus that he would save him. So the guru sees in his wisdom. He has magical powers. He could see afar of present, future as well as past. So he arrived at once to save his disciple. First he scolded his disciple that you have got yourself in such a big problem in love of food. So he tells something in whisper to his disciple. Then he came to the king. The Guru said to the king, "O wisest of kings, who is greater, the Guru or disciple?" So the king said, "No doubt, Guru." So the Guru said that, "Please put me on death first. Then after put my disciple to the death." After the disciple heard of this, he understood and began to clamor, "Me first, me first." They both got into a fight that who should go first. So the king get puzzled by the behavior of Guru and the disciple. He asked to the Guru, "Why are you doing this? Why you both are fighting to go first on stake? We brought the disciple because he was fat enough to fit the stake." So the Guru said that you should not me ask such a question. "Put me to death first," replied Guru. So king asked him, "Why? There is some mystery here. As wise man, you must make me understand." So Guru take him aside and told him that this city is very beautiful. We have never seen city like this. And this stake is also new. It had never criminal on it. So this stake is a stake of God of justice whoever dies first on this stake will be next king in next round of life, and whoever dies second will be a future minister of this kingdom. And we are tired of our normal daily routine life. It will be nice to enjoy our life as a king and a minister of a city. Therefore, now, as I make you understand, you must put me on death first. The king was now thrown into a deep thought. He don't want to lose the kingdom. Therefore, he postponed the execution to the next day. He talked to his minister secretly that they don't want to lose the kingdom. So they decided to go themselves on the stake and release the guru and the disciple. So the king told to the executioner that who came first, put him on death first, and who came second, do with same to the second man. It's my order. Don't make any mistake. So now the king and the minister went to the prison. They escaped the guru and the disciple. When the two bodies were going to be thrown for crows and vulture, everyone what saw that these bodies are of king and minister. Everyone get panicked. Someone thought about the king and the minister. They caught up them when they were trying to leave the kingdom unnoticed. We need a king and a minister, someone said. Others agreed. So they said to Guru and disciple, please rule this kingdom. So it did not took long to convince the disciple, but it took long to convince the Guru. But finally, Guru also get convinced. But the Guru said that we will only rule this kingdom on a condition that from today all the old laws would be removed. From today onwards, there would be night and day would be day, and you could get nothing for a to do. Thank you for watching this video.